All right, good evening, guys. Ken at Tortoise Capital Nightly Strategy Podcast for February 6, 2023, Monday night. Let's start off with the swing portfolio. So Alcoa, I'm sorry, let's start with Alcoa. It's the wrong end of this thing. So you'll see a number of these with the blue box. What I'm working on here is that I like the breakout in either direction. So I'm framing what for me will be like the indecision zone, and I'm ready to take that either long or short. Um, and I'll use the blue box as my initial risk. So what I'm doing on this one is marking the belly of the RL10 and then the PSAR breakout. And my thought is that there's about three to the upside, and if I just mark over here as my lower target, 1, 2, 3 to the downside, that there's enough room just inside this tactical space to make the trade. And really, if it breaks below this critical state, we're so close to the 10-day low that could really be big. So I'd almost prefer that one to be a short side trade. And that would anything that you see with a blue box like that is going to be something that I'm ready to start off with a 3-minute and then let that grow into a 30-minute. And I'm using this as the basic reference to have an orientation to the long side or the short side. So I don't have a position in that one, but I like the fact that it was able to stabilize, and most of the ones you see in this that are going to have that quality. Cliff Natural Resources is like that as well. After the breakdown here, it stayed locked into that pretty nicely. So again, I'll be triggering on the breakdown or breakout of that blue box. No position yet. Chevron or not Chevron, CVS Pharmacy, same thing. This was a Godzilla that we traded that got to this. That was a Godzilla, and it had a long, a fail, a short, and now it's testing right here at this critical state where it was a Godzilla before. It had a nice run up here, so I'm not opposed to the idea that it could get up to here. So with this tight risk box here, I'm ready to go long, and then if it breaks down below that 10-day low, that would be the resumption of the Godzilla. So I really like that one, um, more so to the downside. Devon Energy, same thing. I'm ready for the short side trade on this one. But this has been such a significant sell off that a recovery wouldn't surprise me, and I'm banking on a breakout above the PSAR with a standard risk box here. And again, this would be a 3-minute start and hoping to grow it into a 30-minute. I would make the decision close to the end of the day whether or not to hold 20% of the day trade open. So we'll see how that one goes. Emerging markets is one that I actually took the position here. Um, Emerging markets in the non-U.S. have been very good. I like that this had a positive spin the whole day, and that the R10 had reversed, and so I'm ready to take this as a risk box. I would take that one short, but I also will take it long. I like the potential move back to 41.75, which gives me almost 4 to 1. So I'm liking that one. I wouldn't be surprised to see it get halfway up the stack, and if I started seeing weakness, I'd be happy to turn that into a day trade and just cash a win. But I want to get that one started. I already got that one started. I should say. Same with the Mexico. So Mexico and emerging markets and Brazil have been pretty good. This sell-off, I think, clears the deck, and I like that it is like a kata 2 here. And so I took the position at the close, standard risk. I will go short if it fails. I'm looking to see it get to here or here tomorrow, and it wouldn't surprise me to see it get all the way up that stack. But that's been a strong symbol that has just had a temporary sell-off. Brazil, same thing. You can say I trade the heck out of this thing. Those are usually core and turbos that I don't hold overnight. But I wanted this one because it's been running early, and it had a nice strong close, and this felt like some value players. So standard risk, again, ready to go short, but I like the long return to 30 as an upside. International paper. Now this is one that had that really nice earnings, but it hasn't really done anything else, and so I'm ready to get this one short or long. This one, I didn't mark that up. That one hit. That one hit our exit up in here this morning as it started to fail. I had no belief in it, but I'm ready for it to either gain or recover here. This is where I'd be looking to add a second position, and I will have some confidence in it if it's able to get above this earnings push. But if it doesn't hold that, it's had two runs at it. The first one held, but it wasn't very persuasive, and this one just stabilized here. So the short side to me targets a return to about 38 or 38.50, and that would give me probably 4-1 to the downside. So I like that one on the failure. Real estate, we took this one short on Thursday last week. It did nothing on Thursday, or on Friday, I mean, and then today was just kind of nothing. This was not a persuasive up move, so I'm ready for this to fail. This is where I would be looking to add a position. That would be a decisive move, and I would look to add a second position there. McDonald's, we got long today. This was a COTA 2, and unlike the rest of the market, this thing was working. That closed really well. I'm going to lock in my stop tomorrow to here, and I will add a position. I should make that green. I will add a position immediately upon resumption of strength, and thinking that it can it can close this gap pretty well before it starts hitting any kind of resistance. What I like is that this was all gap down here, so there's almost no resistance at all in here. So this has a real good chance to continue. Marijuana, we are flat on this one. I would be ready. I have so many other ones on there, but I would be ready for this to fail below here. It's had a couple opportunities to fail. It really didn't. And so it may very well be that a breakout above this could go. I think that's probably a reasonable position. I don't want to get messing around inside here, but I will take it short from here or long from here. I now like that one. PBW, this is clean energy. I should have had a... I feel like I want to take this one tomorrow. Again, I like the fact that we have like a fence sitter in the zero state, and that's a nice measured move to here and a nice measured move to there. And the fact that there wasn't much action in it suggests that the upside could happen, but by the same token, this thing will accelerate on the downside pretty quickly. So I actually want to put a star on that one and move that higher on my preference list. Treasuries, I took the position today, and mostly just from symmetry. You know, it held here. Oops. It held here and gave us a nice push when the market was weak. It held here and gave us a nice push. It held all day here above 105, and so I'm ready to take this long. The standard risk box on this is that big box, but my spider sense is that I should really just have the stop here. So I'm only going to risk a half a position on this one, because if this fails, I actually want to be short from here. So I'm going to take that smaller risk box as the action point. Tesla's had a pretty good week last week, and today was it didn't fail at all. We'll see some nice intraday trades on it today from the guys, but I would have liked to have seen it break higher in here. You could argue that that today's range makes a nice breakout box. Something like this, where you're looking at about a $5 risk inside here. That's like half a range stat. So I could see that one. Not on my list right now as a swing. And then last one, U.S. Steel. The other two metals companies we've got, this one is probably in better shape now that I look at it, because it already has some Kata 2 action that's pretty strong to the upside. The other ones were more neutral, I would say. If you were going to play this one as a breakout, I think you'd want to be short from here and maybe add a position here. And then don't add a position until it breaks above, say, 31 and a quarter. Okay, so that's a quick look at the swing portfolios. This is like a Kata 2 exercise for swings. All right, let's go to... So here was a sniper trade I posted earlier this morning. This kind of shows the most important time of the trade and a really powerful psychological moment. This is where it closed Friday. Here was a gap down. It monkeyed around, held support, cruises up this channel, breaks out of the dragon, hits the PSAR, so we're long, standard risk, to the bottom of the dragon. In the next couple bars, it moves straight up, and that allows me to take my risk from here to here, and allows me to lock in the no lose plus dinner for two. And we've got some clear targets to the upside, which is the return to the previous hump of the dragon, the top of this consolidation channel, and then the previous high. Now, all it did today really was just, it got up to about this price level here and then monkeyed around inside this. You can see that in the follow-through trade. Not much else was happening. It just it couldn't really break above that peak. So this one took the exit edge of the dragon. In the chat room, I called it at 182 because I wanted more of it, and I was on 1 minute bars on that one. And so there was one more Kata 2 follow through, and then the rest of the day stayed pretty much in this very tight risk box. So there were two trades available on that early in the morning, but then not much follow through. It was like this had a lid on it the whole day. Here was the sniper trade of the day in Cliff for me. Here was, Friday's close. Here was the gap down in the OR3. It broke down below that, so we're short with a standard risk. Follow that right down the PSAR, and then on a 1, 2, 3. I tried to catch it at the edge of the dragon here, but it got filled here. Then stop and reverse. Standard exit, stop and reverse, standard exit. Kata 2, scratch, and then there was just nothing else. So this gave us about 1, 2, plus 3. This gave us about plus 1. And then these two probably just scratched and paid for the round trips and all that stuff. So about plus 4 on on Cliff. I'm liking this really strong consolidation as a potential breakout, as you saw from the swings. That one, all of the metals are kind of in that condition. Let's see. Let's look at the traders. A lot of symbols today. All right, so this is Constantine, and he's doing another prop firm challenge here, and they've given him another 600K, and upon successful conclusion of that, he'll be managing $2 million assets under management through a prop firm with other people's money. He's got the COTA 2 breakout. He gets the entry, standard risk, and then locks in 1, 2, 3, plus 4. And he's on the dollar Canadian right there. So really nice work. This is Eugene working on Meta right now. He sees the breakout above the PSAR flip, gets a quick trade, quick exit, stop and reverse at the crossing of the dragon for a total of 1.7 net. These last two trades kind of canceling out. So 1.7 on Meta. Then he gets on the right side of Alcoa. Big gap and then sell off. He captures it, waits for the SSC, gets a fraction, and brings home 7. Pretty nice. Those are all measured moves, and very good discipline all the way through. And here he gets another position in Cliff in that second leg down that all the metals were doing this. He's able to get the pick up an extra 0.7. And I like the fact that he gets it coming out of that rejection of the dragon, and he's able to cash it at the edge of the dragon. So he gets all of the abnormal price movement is on that side of the dragon. So he's able to bring that home. He's looking, since he was trading Meta Turbo today, looking at the daily chart here. He's using Heikinashi because that really highlights the trendiness. This has got a lot of resistance overhead. So this is either, as you can see, this is either going to continue out of this consolidation or it closes that gap. Either way, this makes a nice zero state and compound critical state ready to collapse. There was much less buying volume on it today, and it couldn't make a new high. That is a warning. Tim got locked into Brazil on 3 minutes. There was not much after the gap. There was really not much room for any kind of movement, but he was able to get this piece that paid for that one, and then a couple smaller wins for a total of 0.3. That's pretty good on something that hardly moved at all. So he was waiting to see proof. This Apple was about flat for the day. He was able to get the move that was available. On this one, that's the one that kind of brought him back to gains. This one we might have been a little quicker to get the reversal, although he's waiting for the breakdown of the collapsing dragon. The fact that we're down this hard and the fact that this one did not go, you might have been able to stop and reverse and pick up the extra little piece right there. See, this is Devon Energy. Help me with names here. Who is this? Gary. Okay. Oh, it was in the name of the file. Okay. All right. So we've got the short here. That's his 2-hour battle drill, and then a quick exit. Then a resumption, which it bit him a little bit, but I love the re-entry, which pays for it all. There was, this one here, really nice work. Yeah, that's it's hard to improve on that. This one, that was a little unfortunate in those two, but I like the quick trims. Got paid in Devon. This is Nolan. Again, once you see that early morning move, and you see the Z3 pinches here, we don't need to be taking those, and that's minus 1.6, which is mostly where the negative moves were today. Good job picking the early movers, but when you get the Z3s pinching, you're in the middle of Crocodile River. Wait for them to pinch, and then the breakdown is here. And now you get this trade instead of getting it here, you get that entry here. And then that, instead of losing 0.5, you would gain about 1.5 on that one. So use your Z3 indicators to help you, whether it's converging or diverging. This is Dan looking to frame up Tesla, and he's noticing the tight compression at the end of the day. And Tesla was the best single performer in our tactical set today and held the close pretty well. So, he's basically framing it in both directions. And on this one, if it starts working but then comes back, he's ready to stop and reverse from in here. So I like Tesla as a breakout play tomorrow in both directions. Here's Satya crushing it with Alcoa. The big gap fail, so he gets short at the OR3, cashes, continues, cashes. That's the move that he wanted, and that's the indicated cash. So that 2.2 could have been 7. Stay with it. When you got that kind of tiger by the tail, that big move up and then a rapid rejection through yesterday's or Friday's price, that implies this move. The size of this move is equal to the size of that move. There's a real symmetry in there. And on Texas Instruments, he's able to actually squeeze out a pretty nice little couple trades in here. He got the second trade, the COTA 2, and this is what I was talking about at the start, that lid that was on it most of the day. So he got a couple scratches in here, got paid, and all scratches. So those two, that trade there really did nice. And then he did not stay too long in any of the chop, so he's still able to bring home 1.3. So very nice work indeed. Wojcik with his standard 4. Devon Energy, he's able to get the trade in both directions for +3. Nice. Tesla, he was able to squeeze out the second leg up, COTA 2 for 1.6. U.S. Steel, he gets a couple micro trades, but that one loser erased most of that, so he was -0.3. And then 3 in NVIDIA, and that's even missing the big downward trade. The fact that this held, and then he's able, even though that's late and scratch, he gets the re-entry and stays with it, so he's able to bring home another 3. Total of all symbols over 7. Really nice work. He's back in the saddle. Really good work all the way across the board, guys. You're doing an excellent job. All right, let's get to the reports for today. Okay, we'll get to dashboard number 1. Still in bullish quiet. Today's little sell-off was unfortunate, but it didn't sell so much that it's putting the stuff at risk quite yet. In fact, it gives us some channeling and overreaction signals, and you'll see that's where the globals are starting to come out. So Euro 350, emerging markets, Asia less Japan, Euro Asia mix, and that's what led me to put those swing positions on right at the close in the 3 that I track, which is Brazil, Mexico, and emerging markets. So they have been stronger than the U.S., and so I'm looking for a little recovery on those and willing to take a flyer on them. Lots of dojis today in the large caps. A ton of auto framers. All of that is postured up pretty well for some nice moves tomorrow. The fact that it did not sell hard today is a good sign. All of the ETFs were solid. Not huge sell-offs. Plenty of auto framers. Lots of triple screens and 551Ws. So I'm cautiously optimistic for tomorrow. Again, the auto framer will give you sorted by reward to risk. All these amazing I liked emerging markets with almost 5-1. Treasuries I liked at 4-1. You can see those are the ones I was taking at the close because I wanted to get the early moves on them. Lots of squeezes. We'll go to the sniper. We had a few in the S&P 500, some Godzillas today. ATVI is a double volatile Godzilla. Electronic Arts. When you have a big volatility on the 5-day and a dramatically quiet 1 day, that's like a big sell-off over the last 5 days and today ending in a doji. So there's a potential Godzilla in either direction out of Electronic Arts. You see that also in CVS. And that's why I took that position on it. Looking for a breakdown, to be honest. Standard sniper stats. Leave that to your imagination. This one is interesting in our tactical set that only Alcoa had a big 1 day volatility. So that one is absolutely in play. And I think you saw Eugene's 7R on that one. So he was able to find the mover, and that predicts a big move again tomorrow. So Alcoa should be on your short list as the primary metal to trade tomorrow. Now that I'm safely out of McDonald's, it had a nice move today. And just a ton of weakness. But it wasn't the percentage sell-off wasn't bad, so that actually feels like just kind of a little bit of a washout at the beginning of the week, and tomorrow is postured for potentially nice recoveries. In our trading values, again, Tesla, metals and mining still up in position 1 and 2. Real strong posturing from the energy sector here. Intel still in play along with Brazil. I like both of those. And that's everything we got for today. We'll get this published and processed, and off we go. Greg, did I answer your question about where to send questions? Primary is just kind of email them to me and post them in the chat room. In the chat room, there's a good chance somebody that's in there will answer it for you directly. I will see it there if it's in there, but you can also email it to me, and then I'll get those posted. Okay. Hey, Bill, I got to get ready for tomorrow. The girls are flying to California for a week, so I'm gonna hand this over to you.
Yeah, Gary had a you got your ears on, Gary?
One moment.